The Sciforror Film Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Sciforror Film Podcast. I am Andy Walker and I am joined as always by my son Scott. Hello, Scott.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm okay.
Good.
How are you?
Good. Yeah, well, you know. Yeah.
What is that?
Pretty much. Looking at some things, unfortunately, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get press passes and be able to do coverage of the Romford Horror Film Festival next year because it's had to change the way it's been done because of the fact that the normal venue has been closed.
Yes.
And I'm not quite sure what's happening as far as new venue is concerned or what's happening to that one. So at the moment, things are a little up in the air, shall we say. The tickets have gone on sale. I would like to say that we would be able to afford to buy a ticket for the weekend, but unfortunately we can't. So unless we get press pass of some kind,
Yes.
I was thinking if we can only get one, then maybe we can split the weekend between us. Because it's normally 4 days, so we could do kind of like 2 days each or something.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what comes to it.
I'm waiting to hear back from Spencer as to regard what's going on with that. The film that I interviewed and reviewed the guys about a little while ago, R.I.P. Man, seems to be going on at a fair old lick. The fundraising for that has picked up no end, and they're getting people signing up to help them with it all over the place. So, as people may have seen on social media, so hopefully that will be sorted out soon, and they can get working on that.
Yeah.
Else was there something else I was going to say, and I can't remember what it was to do with horror stuff. I can't remember. Don't know. Anyway, right. So on this week's show, we have 2 short films and a feature film. The feature film this week is another one that we were asked to review, and which is currently not available for people to watch online, but hopefully will be at some point.
Yeah.
So we'll start off with the 2 short films. The first one is from 2023, and it's a film called The Chair. It's written and directed by Curry Barker. Curry Barker. Now, I was going to write a full cast of this, but for some reason I've only written the main guy because he's Anthony Pavone. So yeah, that's all I've got here really. The synopsis for this film says, after Reese brings home an antique chair, a series of horrific events follow, leading him to question if it's a malevolent spirit the chair possesses or the darkness inside his own mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Oh. um. I, weirdly, I like it. It's a very odd film, and I
Yes.
mean that in a good way. When it first sort of switched a little bit, I was a bit confused about what's going on, and then I realised as it was going on. But it's a very, very well done film. I think it's the way that it's edited together and the the cinematography of it. I think was amazingly done. The camera angles in it, I think, were very interesting. Sort of only seeing certain parts and focusing a lot on the chair.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I think I love this film. I think it's a very unique way of doing it. I really like it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I agree. The cinematography, I think the look of it was really great. The oddness of the camera angles, as you say, focusing on the chair, so that, especially for the beginning of it, you're only seeing kind of the waist section of the
Yeah,
people that are talking because you're focused just on the chair. I think
mm,
that really adds to the strangeness of the film.
yeah.
And the film
It
kind of gets stranger as it goes on.
yeah. I was gonna say it does sort of the strangest build as it goes, and it's just I didn't think it could actually get stranger if that makes sense, and then it does sort of near the end.
Yeah,
But it's just it's. I was trying to think to myself whether or not there's any other films sort of like this. There's a lot of films about sort of possessions of objects, stuff like that, but I can't genuinely think of something like this. And
no.
it's a bit. I was saying I really like it. I love the way it's been.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's some great
It's,
sound and lighting effects in the film, and there's some excellent editing. The weirdness, the thing that gets me is that the ending of it is kind of so sudden,
yeah,
and it kind of leaves you thinking, but what? You
yeah.
know?
It's
Um,
as I saying. I love that. I love the timing of some of the things as it was going on. The sort of movement of the
yeah,
characters through the scenes. I love the timing for that, and the sort of because the main guy's acting of it, of showing how he sort of wasn't fully aware of what was going on and the sort of questioning, that look of questioning on his face, and sort of whether or not it was
yeah.
happening or if he was imagining it or what.
You
I
see,
just, and the acting for it was
it's
very well done
things,
as well.
it's things in it as well that I didn't notice. I've watched it a couple of times, and there's things
Yeah,
I didn't notice the first time, like the fact that when he pulls up by the side of the road to pick up the chair, as he drives past the camera, before the car gets to the camera, there's nobody outside the house. But when he
yeah.
parks the car and goes round the back to pick up the chair, there's an old guy standing at the window.
No, I didn't even clock that.
And it's kind of like it wasn't until I watched
Yeah,
it the second time that I thought, hang on a minute, he was there just now.
I have to rewatch it then because there's certain bits, like you said, there's certain bits that because of the way I think because of the way it was filmed, the angles and like, you
Yeah,
focus on you focus a lot on the sort of the chair and stuff like that. You miss bits that are going on around it.
yeah,
I like the way that that's done. You've got to pay attention to what's going on and everything in the whole scene.
yeah. No, I agree. It is a very dark and bizarre film, though. But I really like it. I thought it was a really good film. All right.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, you just seem to stop there for a moment.
yeah. For some reason, the internet keeps freezing.
Oh, okay. Right, so that's the first one, the chair. The second short film is from 2024, and this is called Underdog Undead. Written and directed, filmed, edited, special effects, and music by Jodie S. Dean. And the cast is Jace Dean, Hayley Spears, and Anthony Dean, and a few other people.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, it's a decent enough film. It's a kind of a zombie type thing. Um, and it's got reasonable acting and a good look. I think the actual idea is really good. I think it's a fantastic idea. And it's really well thought out and quite original as well. The idea of kind of, I don't know, a faceless government or whoever pitting people against each other to work out who should survive.
yeah,
That I think that's a really clever idea. It's a very interesting thing that could be expanded on.
yeah. It's. I don't understand. It's the idea and the storytelling behind it. I think is very well done, and the whole, like you said, the idea and the the premise behind it is a very unique idea as well. There's a lot of stuff where obviously you've got the zombie bits and stuff like that that have been done so many times.
Yeah,
But the actual the idea about the sort of pitting people against each other and sort of seeing who comes out, I think is very well done and very unique in this, in sort of, especially in this type of film.
yeah, and I mean, to be honest, it's really odd is the fact that I think the young lad who kind of like is the lead role in this, his acting was really good. He doesn't say much,
No,
but his acting is really good. It works really well. He kind of does it. He fits the role well,
yeah,
and the effects aren't too bad. I mean, the
no,
effects.
the makeup effects I think were okay, especially sort of showing up close ones.
Yeah,
You couldn't tell really. I was just saying, there's a lot of good aspects to this.
absolutely. And I think it could be expanded to make it, for this to be part of a, or the end of, or part of a bigger
Yeah,
idea. So there you go. That was good. Okay, on to the main film. Now, the main film is from 2024, and it is called Hanky Panky. This is by Twin Engines Global, Sci-Fi Ventures, a group of ferrets, and Happy Canyon Club. They're the film company making it. Directed by Lindsay Hine and Nick Roth. Written by Nick Roth. The cast is Jacob DeMonte Finn, Ashley Holiday Taveras, Christina Lasky, Anthony Rutowitz, Claire Grant, Azure Parsons, Lindsay Sion. No, sorry, Lindsay Hahn. Can't even read my own writing. Toby Bryan, Nick Roth, Nick Risher, and Toby Bryan also plays the character Woody, and Seth Green plays Harry the Hat. They are both voice characters.
mm,
Now, I, I didn't really have a synopsis for this.
yeah,
So yes, it's the cinematography in the opening and the opening scene I thought was really good.
yeah.
And the cinematography, the stuff outside, the outside shots were really great.
Mm.
Inside the cabin, it was good. It had a good look. The lighting was good and that kind of thing. This is a very odd film right from the very beginning.
Yeah, that's massively understating it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a good use. I like the way they use a lot of the sound in this to create atmosphere. That's very well done.
Yeah,
I mean, it is. I, I'm going to say it's a comedy. It's a comedy horror sci-fi film ish.
yeah. It sits on that sort of borderline of everything, and it's
Yeah. But yeah, well, I mean, basically, you got a bunch of very strange people in a cabin in the mountains in the snow. Um, there's aliens who are, well, there are people who are being possessed by an alien who is lives in a hat. He, the alien has possessed a hat and then possesses people and gets them to do what he wants. And one of the guys in it's got a friend that he thinks is in his head but isn't. And the best part of the film, and I've never seen it any done in any other film, monster film, alien film, horror film, or comedy film, or anything. But the best part of the film is the fight scene between a hanky and a hat.
Oh, do you know what? I love doing this because of the fact that any other time that sort of conversation would either involve a lot of alcohol, a lot of illegal narcotics, or someone that needs to be sectioned. That is just it. I genuinely, I sat there watching it, and thought to myself, it was one of the moments that I just thought I can't get that much weirder. And then it did, and it got to the point where I sat there and afterwards, and I was talking to Amy and a few others about it, and they were like, "So what was it like?" And I was like, I can't describe this without making it seem like either I've watched a very, or I have watched a very bizarre film, but I can't put into words anything that would justify it in a way that didn't seem like I was crazy,
Yeah,
and to actually get the film across in the right way. It just, I genuinely, I sat there thinking about it, and I was like, I can't, I can't put into words the sort of, yeah, this is happening without going, without some, I know that look on people's faces is like, what? Um,
yes, absolutely.
yeah, it's,
The thing about this film, though, is that it's not a bad film.
no,
It's actually it's one of the it's one of the few comedy horror type films that I've seen, low budget ones especially, that actually made me laugh.
yeah, it had its moments for me, and I genuinely I sat there like, yeah, okay, you could tell where it was going with bits, and then like saying the sort of comedy aspect, I was like genuinely okay, but I don't know, it's just I mean this in all the best way possible, but it felt like a fever dream,
Yeah, it
like
is a
it's
very bizarre film, but
yeah,
it's a very light bizarre film. It's not
yeah,
like a dark, heavy bizarre
no,
that makes you feel like you kind of like, that you've just sort of like dropped some bad acid or something.
yeah, it's one of them light fluffy ones, I suppose is
Yeah,
the best way
it's
to put
light,
it.
fluffy, light and fluffy bizarre.
Yeah. It's sad. I like the film. I think it's a very good. It's a very unique um, story.
It's like
It's just
it's like acid. Um it's like acid um has been put with um I don't know, something like a candy floss. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. It's one of the moments though. Is for me. Thinking about it, the best way to like just thinking about it, the best way to describe it is them conversations you have like you've had a bit too much to drink, maybe something else, at like 2 in the morning, and you're having them conversation kind of to be a great idea,
Yeah.
and then you sort of then realise you've got to follow through with it.
Most of us don't bother following up on it and
No,
making them though.
no, and I applaud the fact that they have and the fact that they've done it as a feature film as well, and I sort of applaud them for that.
Absolutely.
And I
I,
just
I've got to say that I really enjoyed watching it.
yeah,
I had no idea what was going on a lot of the time. By the end of it, I thought that made absolutely no real
no,
sense whatsoever and was completely bonkers. But
yeah,
I enjoyed watching it.
yeah. It's just saying I sat there at the end of it, and I was like, I genuinely thought to myself, like, think to myself, like, I feel not happier, I suppose, but that sort of that I don't even know how to like that endorphin sort of level sort of risen because you're like, okay, yeah, that's that I've appreciated that. It's a good film. It got humour to it, and I just sat there and afterwards and I was like, but it's sad every time someone went to me, so what's the film like then? I'm like,
It was just the thing is, it's just kind of like it just feels like you spent an hour and a half having a bit of fun.
yeah,
It wasn't a hardship watching it. It was quite enjoyable. Yeah, but as I say, there were parts of it that actually made me laugh. And American humor doesn't make me laugh very often.
no,
So I really liked it. I thought it was a really good film, and I would say to anybody, if you want to watch something that's completely different and something that's just completely out there and just for fun, if nothing else, just have a watch of it.
Yeah, it's saying this. To be honest, we could sit there and we could describe it scene by scene what's going on, but it's not going to do it justice. You need to watch it. You
No,
need to watch it to have that feeling to understand that sort of what we're saying about the fact that it's an enjoyable film to watch.
it is. It is a good bit of fun to watch. I mean, it's great. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so there we go. We had The Chair, which is slightly bizarre, a bit dark, but very well made short film. We had Underdog Undead, which is a good film with a really good idea at the base of it. Well made, well acted for a very cheap film. And Hanky Panky, which is just it's just an hour and a half of complete nonsense but it's good fun to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, so there you go. Uh, if you want something that's just completely bizarre and a little darker and a little bit more kind of like off the wall and like I've this is something I've watched 4 times now and I still have absolutely no idea what it's about, what's going on, or what it's supposed to mean. It's on YouTube. It's called Rabbits and it's by David Lynch.
I haven't got around to watching it yet.
Yeah, yeah. Um, next time we will be reviewing some science fiction stuff. We've got a couple of short films, and we have a classic animated science fiction film to review next time. So join us for that. Thank you very much, Scott, for being part of the show, and as always,
Right,
your
glad I
insights
could
and comments and everything.
do it. I'm glad I could do it.
And we will be back next time. Hopefully, you will be out there watching. Otherwise, we're doing this to an empty world. And there you go. So, thank you very much. And we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.
The Sciforror Film Podcast.